Beloved Father, who dwells within the soul of my being, whose name is I am. You open your hands and satisfy the hunger of all living beings. You heal all hearts of sorrow until they turn. May show forgiveness to those whose minds are shrouded in ignorance of the self. Veneration to your holy name. Thy kingdom is here, thy will prevails throughout the earth as it does in the heavenly realms of my soul. Beloved Father, Very good. Oh, namaste. Welcome everyone here to this first morning of the Silent Retreat. Hope everyone has slept well and bright and fresh for this morning. And so welcome, welcome. And I also like to take this chance to welcome all those who are joining us for today's broadcasting, wherever you are, and big welcome. I like to say this because inside my heart I feel we include everyone into this space. It's not merely a physical space, but the space of being. So irrespective of where you are on the planet right now, then we're in one satsang today. So, big welcome. Now, yesterday before leaving, I asked a question. The question was that if it were presented to you that it is possible, totally possible and available to come to a direct recognition of the timeless, to who we are and what we are. That which never goes away, or that which is referred to as a timeless or eternal. And that the possibility is here that a recognition of this kind is what our ultimate goal in life, when we have finished trying everything else out that the mind will present to keep you distracted from this, you will eventually, either in this life or some other lifetime, you will have to come home to this. If this was the opportunity today, would you be open to it? Yes. Okay. And I also said that even if this was to take place, that perhaps sometimes the strongest resistance may come. It won't be given to you. It will simply be exposed, what is not true. And you only have to hold to what is true until we are cured of the habit of clinging to what is untrue. And it need not be painful. If there is pain, it is not the pain that is given or brought by truth. It is the pain that is the fear of letting go of what is untrue. And yet at the same time, the joy of the true is so amazingly wonderful that the lie becomes totally insignificant. Now, normally I am not speaking like this. What I'm doing today is I'm starting at the end. You see? And not as a technique, but because somehow over the years the satsangs have evolved to this. And it was not sat down and worked through, because at some point I'd felt, I think I have done what is more than this. How can we go further than this? Was my feeling. I said, maybe now I go and take a big rest or something. But then it became more clear, and today perhaps we will see why. So let's say, and I may be quite right, that you've all come, including those who are viewing on the broadcasting. You've come with your top desire, your deepest urge is to be free. And what it means to be free, even. To be free from the molestations of the ego mind, the psychological hypnosis, the burden of personhood. Can I say something like this? Yes, because I've said humanity is suffering from the poison of personhood. Too much person, too much personal. You see, we cannot really meet. And in fact, that just in the same way that if you go to bed, even if you're sleeping next to your most beloved, if you have a dream, you cannot share your dream with your beloved. You cannot plug into the same experience and experience it the same. It's a very unique experience. Similarly, the waking state is also a very unique functioning, unique experiencing, shaped by our conditioning, identity, our philosophies and secret or private mythologies. All of this contribute also to the unique way in which we perceive the world. And yet so often we hear people speaking about, mankind moving into a kind of oneness. Well, you cannot move into oneness if you're merely a person. You must also transcend personhood. So, let's say you've all come, and I find you, this is the exercise I'm offering today, I find you knocking at the door. And I ask, yes, hello, hello, can I help you? I say, yes, I hear that if I can come to see you, you will help me to recognize my true nature. Okay. You can come in, no? I'm inviting you in, but I say, please leave your shoes outside. Leave your shoes, customary, leave your shoes outside. And also, leave your mind outside. Leave your mind outside. Now that's a big one. What do you mean, leave my mind? Actually, very simple. Very simple. It simply means all that you are usually thinking about and your ideas about life and the past and what has happened to you and your journey up until now, all of this, we're not going to talk about it because you have come with the most important question in the human kingdom. The greatest request, in my view, you've come because you want to be at home. You want to be where you truly are. So I said, for the duration of the time we are going to spend today together, while I direct you to it, don't engage me about your past. Leave it outside. Just leave it for a moment, and then when we are finished, you can go and pick it up again. So it's quite safe, okay? We'll leave all your stuff outside the door. And you will just come in with the attitude that, no, I'm not going to, this is past, it's finished. I'm not taking this in with me. Even though the mind may say, I'm coming in, you're saying, well, that's up to you, but I'm not taking you in. What I mean by this, if, say, 50 people come to hug you, but I say to you, you don't hug anybody. You understand? So they all come, hi, darling, I'm hugging, but you're just surrendered. Yes? So you're not hugging back. So even if your mind feels that it's coming, you're not in, I don't want to hear about that. I am not going in with you. Okay? So you leave your mindset, which includes all your memories and all these things and what happened to you when you were 16 and all. No, we leave everything. All your favorite concepts, everything. Because you have to be a bit empty when you come in here. So just leave it. Are we on board?
Yes.
Well, we've started. Okay, so you leave these things. And any idea about future, what you would like, and I really need your attention if you're going to do this. Any idea about future, like what kind of world you'd like to see and how you'd like to be and all these things, we're not going to speak about this. We're going to leave this. Because these are all your dreams and projections. They're not true, not real. So let's leave that outside also. So you're empty of information and dreams and aspirations and memories and imagination. Just leave it for a moment. You can go back to it after. And then come in. Come in, close the door. Boom, we're here. And now you're here without past. Meaning even the past, which is 1 second old, we're not going to engage with it. So this is not a thinking moment, okay? Don't be thinking about this. You're leaving that. As the thoughts come, they're left. There's nothing to stick to because you're saying, maybe later I'll engage with thoughts, but right now, for this, let them float by like clouds, whatever, don't engage. And you're here. So there are no thoughts that you're participating with, getting involved with. So there's nothing to interpret or project. So just empty. The usual tendency, if you come to a point like this, is to feel, okay, what's next? So, no next. No next. No next thought, no next exercise. So don't touch the idea of next. So you're simply here. No aspirations about future, no reminiscences about past, no desire about how to be, even for enlightenment. For the moment, you leave everything. And I know sometimes the mind is saying, okay, I'm just going to stay to the side and watch where he's going with all of this before I join in. So that is staying out. You're still outside the door if you do this. Just let it be for a moment. Let everything be. And experience now, just be here, just here. Not waiting. No next. Not listening to what your mind has to say about this. Not thinking, well, this is the first day, probably it's a bit early. I need time to defrost and all this type of stuff. No, just nothing. You're just here. It's got nothing to do with something to happen. Not waiting for any happening. Simply just be here. And any feeling that's happening in the body is just a feeling happening in the body. Don't give it to your mind to interpret what this means or anything. So notice how it is when you're not waiting. There's nothing to expect for a moment. Really be with this, feel this. And you're not creating here, so we don't need imagination or any form of visualizations. No effort. So I've brought you to this point so that I may ask you some simple questions. And I can only ask you now. This, whatever you may call it, state or stateless state or whatever, this, whatever this is now, did you create this space of being? No. Are you imagining it? Just what is here. Just. Did it come from somewhere? No. Can you hear at the back okay? Yes. Did it come in from somewhere? No. Does it have a size? No. Shape? Does it have sound? Does it make some noise or some sound? Any humming? I just want some feedback from you to find if you're with me. Good like that. Are you keeping it? Can it be described? No. Does it belong to any particular religion? Sorry? No. And are you perceiving it with these fleshly eyes? No, I'm not perceiving it. How near is it? Is it like maybe a few millimeters from you, or is it separate from you in somewhere? No? If you were to go to sleep tonight, it's a tricky one. If you were to go to sleep tonight and wake up in the morning, is it likely that it will have gone? You sure? If you have come here from New York, will you be able to take it home with you when you go back? I mean, is there some? Do you have to pay for a separate seat for it or something? No. So it cannot be carried. Is it different for each person? Yeah. Does it need taken care of? No. Can it fade? Like, it's really strong right now, but the more you go away from here, it gets weaker and weaker. Can it be like this? Do you have to keep it? No. Is there you and it? No. Now, what I'm noticing is that you're not answering the questions as though you are thinking about it. Why? Why is it that you're not answering these questions by different opinions, like, well, I think, and no, I disagree, and why not like that? Because you're answering from your own direct experience, would you say or not? Yes. You're not answering from something you have read. It's true? And you know why? Because this is yourself. I'm starting here. First day of the retreat. I'm starting here. I don't want to hear just yet what your mind has to say about this. Simply just be. Just relax with this for a moment. Is there anything that you have to keep up? Is there anything that you have to do for it? Who are you? Why are you seeing in this way? Because you're not acting from your person. You're not giving a personal perspective. You're above your person. And I have it on record what you say. Because you're going to be saying some different things pretty soon. Already I see some hand. Want to say something? I say, just for a moment, just remain here. Be one with it. Now I'm going to ask you again, are you sure you're not making this up? Yes. Yes, you're making it up, or what? How is it possible to get a group of human beings from all over the world without asking you to use your imagination or to visualize or let's try and believe in this? Are you believing in this? No. So I heard a yes, I'll come to that after. Okay. Does it require belief? A moment. Okay. What is this? What did he say? In this what is, or that is, that which is-ness. What time is it there? No time. This is ourself. This is the ground of being. This is pure awareness. The source that is even before beginnings. Let me ask a question that seems really crazy. No. 1 million years ago, if there was such a thing, was this different than it is now? You can say that? Somebody says, I don't know. We need some contrast, of course. How can anybody say something like that? Maybe in another 1,000,000 years, if there's such a thing, human years on this planet, if there's such a planet in 1,000,000 years, in what way will this evolve and become more timeless? Huh? It's the what? It's the being. The being, okay. Don't give this to your mind. Mind has a lot of opinions about it. Are you needing to be a certain way for this to be what it is? No. How are you feeling right now? Light. And yeah. Are you feeling very personal at the moment? You miss it? I see someone. It's okay. Now, I mean, of course, it can't be this easy. As we'll soon find out. And I would just like to feel that your attention is present. We're at the start of a retreat, in a state that is usually not even attained during a retreat. But something has to be felt and looked at and questioned. But will it be this? Some things may come up and yes, but what about this and blah, 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 blah. Will it be this? No. Are you here? How much of you are here right now? Yes. Okay, let me put this question another way. How much of yourself is here in this right now? All of yourself. And how many beings, right, are in this experience, if you want to call it an experience, in this recognition right now, in this room? Yeah. Well, the different responses are the same thing, actually. If some people are saying, well, there's only one of us. Or each one, yes, this is, I'm here, I'm here. Totally. Any dramas? Any karmas? Okay. Let's open up the floor to your questions now. Okay. I saw your hand went up first. You can go there for a moment and see.
Namaste, Muji.
Namaste.
I did everything you said.
Yes.
I left it all outside the door.
Yes.
There's a feeling like I'm almost there and I'm knocking. And I'm like, I have a memory of realizing I'm knocking and already inside, but I'm like almost there, but I can't.
Yes. Okay, say this again without your mind. Tell me what you say just now without your mind, which you've left outside, by the way. I see you went out and picked it up somehow.
Without my mind, I'm inside already.
Yes.
Or I'm not inside or outside.
Very good. So your choice is to go to the mind for the moment.
I think so.
Yeah. Or is it a choice that the mind says, okay, enough of this, I'm coming in? Which one is it?
It's both.
Both, okay.
It's like I can't feel like I can't make a choice, or I don't want to make a choice, like there's resistance.
Yes.
But then there's a knowing that it's not a choice.
But you know where this is happening. You know where this is happening. Yeah? It's not happening in the what is. It's
Correct.
Yes, it's happening somehow in this space where I live, this sense of my life and how my experiences, my memories are telling me that I'm still outside.
Correct.
Okay? Okay. This one who is outside, is it the same one who is beyond inside or outside?
The question is so mixed up in my mind that there's not even an answer to your question, because
Okay.
there's not an inside or outside.
Okay.
So there's a knowing of it. So
Okay. No, there's a knowing of what? Of the...
there's a knowing that there's not an inside or outside.
Yes. And is that knowing a kind of intellectual knowing, or is it a felt knowing? What is it?
Right about now, it's both.
Okay. But
I can't get rid of the intellectual.
okay, good point. This is where we are going to have to look now, but in a totally different light, because you have come already to the root of where this comes from. This, what you're speaking about with the mind and this thing, this is not the original thing. This is secondary. Before even the first thing learned, you are already in the place of the pure, the absolute state. Okay? So now this thing that's saying, now how do I resolve this? Is where you, that pure consciousness, has put on your suit as a person. The mind and the life and what I can do and how can I balance this and all the usual things that the mind seems to be concerned about and involved with.
Yeah, even standing here, it's
Yeah.
like there's like a...
Therefore, you must sit and marinate in what you have seen. Because if you don't, the mind will say, been there, done that. Put it in the bag. And you will talk in 5 years, oh yes, I was in that retreat with Muji, and it was a very interesting experience. But I lost it, really. You will speak like that. Why? Because you gave it to the mind, and you're taking the position, as we do, through habit, to say, yes, that was an experience I had. That was an experience I had. And this I, we are going to take a look at what it is. If this I, because I asked you, are you different from this? And in your highest self, you say, I am not different from this. But then a moment later, you say, I am different from this. I am outside trying to get in. This is the feeling that the identity, which was shaped in you, that caused you to believe that you're a person, and that this is a personal struggle that you must go through, and nobody really understands quite what's going on and so on, is what is called our dream. As we spend the next whatever time is necessary to look at this and to experience and to clarify, you will come to see this.
Is it okay if it feels like I'm on a high balance beam and I just have to put all my energy onto the tightrope to stay on it?
In truth, there's no tightrope. This is also something that your mind is made up. If you come to the state of, let's say, the stateless state, because what I mean by stateless states, all states come and go. What I would refer to as a stateless state is that which does not come and go. But then you say that if it doesn't come and go, if you're up until now, if you've been a seeker for 20 years, and in the instant of your recognition of the what is, you see, you say, but this is always here. Well, where was it until you discovered it? Until you discover peace, where was it? You see, until you discovered this, where was it? Was it hiding somewhere? No, it is here. But you are not conscious of it, now you're awake to it. And that's why the word awakening is quite a good one. Okay? But again, our reflex and conditioning places us again in the field of obstacles. But how do I get around this and how do I do this? That's the habit of our dreaming self. So that feels like that is tangible and real, the possession that you're speaking from now. You see, I feel like I'm walking on a tightrope and so on, you see. Whereas when I look at this, I can see it, but that's just in your mind. You're thinking these things. You could be here in total solitude and peace and serenity and joy and completeness. But by reflex, you go, something has already picked up again the old identity that's telling you, I'm on a tightrope. Okay? Why you want to go on tightrope? When you're in a very untight place. You see, I have to go. And yet it will feel, but I can't help this. My mind goes there. You are going to have to discern the difference between yourself and your mind, yourself and your belief, yourself and your thoughts. Because they were believed into existence and they became our experience. And then we are now have to work in this field of identity to see, how do I come out? But I've shown you a place where you're neither out nor in. How is that going to work now? How is it going to work? This is the time we're going to spend to find out. Because what I've shown in you, what has been revealed to you, is before beginnings. I've not shown you a beautiful place with lovely trees and so on and so on. Because if I showed you a very heavenly picture with beautiful, landscapes made of colors that nobody can paint and music that no one can play, but you won't all like it. You say, no, but I'm into rap, man. I'm into classical. This heavenly music ain't for me. You see, anywhere where you will see images means that if you're responding to them, you are yourself with an image of yourself. Okay? And where there are images, there will be preferences. When there are preferences, there will be conflict and opposites. There will be resistance, there will be fors and against. And there will again spin into play the full palette of interrelated opposites and their dance, and the dancer too. Which is fine. When you have understood it from the correct perspective, you may be in this dream, but at least you'll be in it awake. I wonder if you follow that. You see? It's very... It is easier to take you out of the dream than to convince you you're dreaming. Because you tell me, I'm not dreaming. Look, my eyes are wide open. I can hear you. I can talk with you. How can you say I'm dreaming? You see?
I'm better off not saying anything for a while.
Not bad. Not bad. It's okay to speak. It's okay if there are some thoughts and some concepts, some ideas that are molesting your peace, then you must get them out if you want.
I'm not molested anymore.
Huh?
I'm not molested anymore.
You're not molested anymore. Very good.
I don't know what I am, but it's okay.
Very good.
It's good for now. Thank you.
Good for now. Okay, good for now. Okay, thank you, thank you. Another one. And can I hear what you have to say?
Namaste, Muji.
Namaste.
Thank you for calling me.
Okay.
I have to tell what I have issues with sleep.
You have?
With sleep issues.
You have issues with sleep, even
Yeah.
right now.
Even right now.
Oh, so
I'm not awake, but I want to fall asleep fast, but I could awake.
when I've just took you to a place beyond sleeping and waking. Ta-da! I would want you to pay a little attention to this, because you're speaking from memory at the moment also. We keep a kind of a little resume of our history. You know, this is the kind of person I am, this is kind of, you know, I can't sleep, but you're here standing and you're sleeping now?
No.
No. So,
But at night I'm not sleeping too. And it's very hard after, when I sleep well and I rest, it's easy for me to observe my mind, even be in present moment. I have blissful experiences also, a lot of beautiful things. And
when you've rested?
when I rest, when I sleep,
Okay.
yeah, I have very deep experiences. Of course, this is my history. But when I can't sleep, I don't know why.
When you had beautiful, blissful experiences, when you were rested and so on, what came out of these? Was this just momentary? You had beautiful, blissful experience, and then it was finished, and you had another blissful, beautiful experience, and then it's finished?
Yes.
Was it for any real value, any lasting value of them?
Sometimes, but sometimes I have wonderful day in present moment, and I don't sleep at night. That's what. It's a big question.
Yeah.
And of course, everything become hard, even hard to observe.
Okay. The consciousness is playing like that. It plays in many ways. I have shared before that I have been with one man working with me. He didn't sleep for 4 years. I said, 4 years? I said, yes, yes. Then he introduced me to another man who didn't sleep for 11 years. Yeah. Sorry, it doesn't sound very good, but it's coming there, no? So he introduced this man, and the man who didn't sleep for 11 years was much more awake than him, actually. It was kind of like this. And before, I never thought it's possible. How can? Because after 2 nights of not sleeping, most of us are finished. But 4 years and 11 years I've met people. And I asked him, you mean you didn't sleep? He says, yeah, sometimes, maybe for 10 minutes.
Yeah,
You know,
but
yes,
for me it's not how much I'm sleeping, but how I'm feeling.
How you're feeling.
Yeah, if I'm not feeling well, so even, can't sleep, but...
Yeah. Did you follow the exercise we did just now?
Yes.
And? Report from there to me what you see, what you are from this place. Is it suddenly become an abstraction? I'm asking you. Now that we are speaking now, and we are back into the realm of the dynamic consciousness and the mind, as this that is suddenly become an abstraction? No. Okay, speak from this place. If you have followed the exercise, speak from this place. In the present tense. Don't speak in the past tense now.
You still feel sensations in the body.
That in which even the restlessness or the sleeplessness is observed. Something observes sleeplessness. It observes restlessness. It observes tiredness. Okay? Is that itself tired? Can I ask this question? Suppose you're reporting, you say, yes, I haven't slept for some time, and even the night passes, and I can see that my body is totally exhausted, I don't experience deeply, and so on and so on. So that is the effect of the lack of sleep. What is reporting about this? Is that suffering from lack of sleep, that place?
Right now I feel it's not, that's me, and reporting about not sleep.
It is, sorry, I explained.
But right now I can recognize what it separates. It gets more space, like
Yes.
me, and
Okay.
but usually when I don't sleep, and such a big identity.
Yes.
I identify with
Because
body
the consciousness
and
has
mind and
very many ways of expressing, and sometimes I say that consciousness has a tendency to create the sense of a problem in order to have the experience of transcending it. Can I say for a moment, no? Okay? Not because it has to. It is that which is experiencing from that common ground that we look from. It wants to experience diversity. It's experiencing through ways that, what you may experience, this one over here may not ever experience. Well, certainly not on the same time frame. And so this is one way it is also manifesting itself, that even without sleep, phenomenal sleep and so on, and the body being tired, does not impact upon the original being. I want to know if you see this for a moment. That's why I asked you, refer now from the place of what you have seen. You are one with the what is, or suddenly you are two with the what is. Yes, there is a dynamic side of life where you appear to be a woman standing here telling me about something to do with the evenings where I'm unable to sleep and so on and so on. So that is also taking place. And normally, we don't have another place to report from. In our usual existence, when you identify as a person, this is your life, this is what you do, what more is there, you see? Okay? And but now I'm asking you, from the place of your fresh discovery, from here, from where even the functioning of perception is perceived. Can I say like this? Huh? Which is the more real? The state which is the lack of sleep and so on, or that which is aware of the lack of sleep and the state of the apparent sleeper or the one who suffers it. We're going more deeply into your consciousness to see if you're still there, beyond your person, at the place where there's observing of your state of insomnia and the apparent one suffering it also, are both seen. Have I gone too far? Because largely we are spending time looking at the symptoms. This is what's happening, and then these people, and telling the story of what you see, which is often shaped by what you project also, and all these things. We are telling the story of what you perceive. But you, the perceiver of it, you, the perceiver, can you be perceived? Well, the perceiver, who has some connection, some loyalty, some contact and relationship with what it is perceiving or suffering, okay? that perceiver can be perceived. Because the more that it is involved with its perception, the more personal it becomes. Can anybody notice that? Yeah. Then the more something becomes personal, that it becomes phenomenal, meaning that it can be perceived. It takes on quality, shape, differences, size, and so on. Then that makes it perceivable phenomenally or objectively. You see? So I'm only pointing now, who is perceiving this? Who is perceiving all of this? Is the one perceiving this suffering this?
No.
Okay. So we talked about the one who is perceiving this with passion and with identity, that one will suffer it. But that which is earlier than this, is that even involved in what is happening even. It perhaps is not so engaged in that story. It can easily ignore that. You see, if I look at you, like physically, I can say, she looks like she needs some sleep. Okay? All right. So, I'm not a GP or something. Won't give you something, but I'm showing you something which is the one medicine for everything. The master key. You see?
I know, and I was using that at night when I have nothing to do, I'm not sleeping, so I observing myself, and I can see, and I observe even observer, and became like I became like nothing. I started like it was scary because 1 second I just disappeared. Yeah. So all this experience, but then again coming back, and coming back, and sometimes then many nights, I don't sleep many nights, so it's really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just for this morning, just be one with that which I've pointed you. Only for this morning, okay? If you want after, but this morning, for the rest of the satsang, just be consciously present as that place. And just forget the sleepless nights for a moment. And just be with this for now, okay? And I'll see you if we can take it further than that in terms of your sleeplessness.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. You can.
Namaste, Munji.
Namaste.
Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
I've been following you for years, and I did the satsang in Rishikesh with you online every single night.
Yes.
And things have gotten so much worse since then.
And what happened?
Things have gotten worse.
Things have gotten worse. Okay.
I mean, I have known the peace that passes all understanding and knowing that I am that. And now
Could you say this again, this last sentence?
There have been moments where I know that I am that, and there
Yeah.
is nothing there but this joy and
Yes.
peace,
Yes.
or nothing.
Yes.
And then, after it's faded, now it's been an
It
onslaught.
faded. Okay, all right, go on.
There's been an onslaught of times where this rage comes up out of nowhere, or other times where there's this joy and I start laughing out of nowhere,
Yeah.
or this intense fear and anxiety. And I'm ready to be done with the person because it's tortured. And
Yes. Now, did satsang give you that strong, everything start to go bad?
things started to arise. I think it's things
That's
that were
the difference.
underneath.
Because everybody's carrying this. Okay? You can carry this all your life, and you have a average, mediocre life. Most people are comfortable with that. have the car, have the house, have the husband, have the wife, whatever. Okay? And it's kind of like enough. And there's a lot of people who will tell you, listen, how dare you want different? Okay? But the moment you have come to drink at the well of freedom, you see, then all this stuff is coming up. And it's coming up actually to be burped out. It's being burped out, vomited out. Okay? And you may say, oh my God, where did all this stuff come from on the day of spring cleaning? Where did these old boots and all these kind of stuff come in? All this garbage is coming out. And that's what you speak. You say, yes, that's where things started to go bad. And this is where you started to become great. That is the difference, you see? And when you feel, the times when you feel, then I'm really so, this and down, is when you are in strong identity with it as well too. It comes. And so this rocking to and forth will happen for a bit until somehow you have exhausted it, you've burnt it. Because these things that were hidden for some time, now with the light of your own self, they can't hide. They are coming out. It's like trying to hide behind a sheet of glass. So this is what's coming, and it doesn't feel good. In the body, it feels...
Oh, yes, I got violently ill the days
Yes.
before coming here, and it was just like everything all at one time, and it feels like insanity.
Yes, but you came.
Yeah, something brings me beyond me.
Yes, because your higher choice is for freedom. And these things may put you off. There may be one or two people somewhere back in wherever it is who should be here right now, but their mind gave them a good whooping, and they're back at home like little obedient puppies or something for a bit. And it can happen. It will turn nasty for a bit. But you are here for this. Why is it that we are all this? We are all this. I can sit anywhere in the world, in fact, and take any group through this exercise, and they will say exactly the same thing you are speaking. Can you imagine that they could not? In anywhere you can sit, and I'll point you this thing, and they will say, yes, there's nothing here. It's beyond somethingness. We don't know what to call this. You see? And yet, at the same time, there is this dynamic process, this life in which we appear to be having a life, and you're living in this country, I'm living in this country, you're having these things, you have these children, you have that, you have this job, and we're having, it's been so difficult, and like that. Does it mean that in this life, if you discover the truth, it is going to be difficult? No. It will be difficult for a while you are somehow maybe unclear, because a lot of nonsense will come, confusion will come, you'll feel like I've lost my way, I don't know where I am. But all of this is a progress. All of this is a cleansing, you see? So I don't want you to be because also you are still identified with your person. We can't help it. Some of that has to be taken care of also.
It's torture.
Yes. And then comes immense joy, like you've never felt before in your whole life. Nothing on this planet can give you that joy, can release that joy, that peace, that sweetness. You see? That gives you strength to carry on, to flush out all these things. And every time you go to these pains is because something brings you back to being a person again. It is always personal. Every problem is registering something personal. If you don't become personal, if you stay in your universal consciousness, you will still have to deal with things, but you will not be crying and dying and jumping off out of trains and all this stuff that your mind wants you to do.
It feels like it sometimes, and then I read, it's like you say, be strong, turn to God. To turn away from God is disgrace, and I keep that with me because it's...
Looking from the place that you've been pointed to, Where does this fit in, this person now?
It doesn't.
It doesn't. And yet it does? Amasya? Is it possible? I mean, it seems so completely different. Here, where we could write volumes about our story and our difficulties, and then nothing. Not one peanut you have to write about. And here, I mean, sort of like a sequel of troubles. You see? Which is real? You see? Of course it feels like the life that you've known that has an historical connection and, go way back and the people and all of this thing, the matrix of life and its complexities and everything, that has to be sorted out. But it is best sorted out when you know yourself here. This still has to be gone through. Somehow some things will just fall away because a wisdom will arise in you, a power to discern so powerfully that many things that you're perceiving now, you're perceiving only through delusion, are fattened by your confusion, then will just drop away as you stay in the light of yourself. This is why I say, one of the satsangs we named, I said, my God, you don't realize what you are discovering. You don't realize. Actually, it seems strange that anybody should put their hand up right now. Because if you really were seeing and being that which you see, and you cannot refute, you would feel the most fortunate being in the whole world. You'll realize that you don't have to undo every single thing you imagine you have done wrong. You wake up out of that. As long as you hold on to an identity, a private personal identity, these things will stick to you like Velcro. Oh, this happened to me and this, and how can I get rid of this, and how can I change, and so on and so on and so on. And even with your deepest determination, you'll still get stuck around the corner, something like this, it happens. And it's a slow process. It is a process. You are growing, we're getting closer, and you'll have setbacks. And then you start again and you move and so on. This is the river of the life, generally moving forward slowly. I said some time ago that you have to be like the cow that jumped over the moon. We had one nursery rhyme like that. Hey diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle, the cow jumped over the moon. I don't know why I remember this, because this is exactly what you did. You jumped over the moon mind this morning. You didn't have to work through the forest of the mind and come out, finally, we're out. No, instantly you saw. Why? What has happened? You came back into your original nature. And with your original nature, now you can look back and you can, as you move now in life, everything will become much more gentle, much more easy. Your view will become more panoramic. Your way of interacting with beings, much more peaceful. Because what? You know what you are. You have experienced it. And you will know at the root of every living being is this. That's where respect comes from. That's where love comes from. It doesn't come just for the person. The person is a psychological complexity and is beautiful only because of the presence underneath it and inside it. It is the presence that you love and its unique expression in the form of individuality or something like this. It's not the ego that you love so much. So don't be thinking in the old mind. Something is once you go back to the old mind, but that's still real over here. I've just gone back, I've just taken my rucksack back from outside, and I'm going to show you what's in my rucksack, Moji. And, this thing. But, okay. But what I want you to do is to spend some moments, some time being with this thing. What is this? Are you making it up? Have you ever discovered anything in your life that is unchanging? That you cannot criticize? That instantly removes your delusions, confusions? The old identity, the old fox. And yet instantly you go back to the fox. Oh, Moji, can I show you my fox? Okay, you can show me your fox if you want. If you want. Is it practical? That's a good one. Is it practical? What you have seen? I mean, isn't that very irresponsible? I mean, to be so perfect? Because you still have to be in the life, the dynamic life, but you will come to the origin of the life and the expression of the life. It will become beautiful more because you know where all this is coming from. But as yet you're not fully awake to this, even though you have experienced it. And it is your own self. You see how, in a sense, you've moved away from what you've seen to talk about this? Can you see how you go back to your past already? That's why I say, be in your seeing and tell me what you've said. Authentically, be in that seeing, which is, be in the what is, and report this that you're speaking. But then you say, yes, but I mean, it's fine in here, Moji, but when I go outside, yeah, my mind is waiting for me, going, hey, you're taking a bit long. Come on, we got things to do, girl. Come on. You see, is that how it is? Maybe for a while it will feel like that because you have to stabilize, your being has to stabilize in this new discovery. But now grace is with you powerfully. You're standing in the source of grace itself. To go back to the mind, that is disgrace. To stay in the seeing, that is grace. But you may say, but it's so powerful, the mind, even without being asked. He's back here. Well, we will see. What you have seen and what you are seeing, if you stay with it, you have looked into the very being of all the sages. And the sage in yourself also. But if you don't contemplate it, you've missed it. That which is sublimely simple and innocent, you'll miss because of the fascination for delusions. You'll be crying bucket loads of tears for the unreal when you are the real. Let me ask you, in your heart, are you unworthy of this seeing? Has it come too early? Should I have waited until, Saturday morning? Or should I have given you more time to really spend all you can about your person and really... Or should I have started at the beginning? In the beginning. Huh? It was perfect. Should I have started in the Garden of Eden? It was perfect, no? But even there you found trouble. Doubt, desire came. And the innocence of the perfect was masked. And now you have recognized that which is perfect beyond even the concept of perfection. But the old problems are still, Not because they're there, they're not there. It's that you go to them. You believe it, you see. But if you stay with this and marinate your attention in it, you may find that when you go back to look for your problem, it might be a bit different. I am going to have to maybe think about it myself. Maybe I'm starting too quick. Maybe midway or something. Oh, thank you. Because this is natural now. It's also natural now. I said, look at this. Can we start a retreat at the end? Put the end at the beginning. Show you what you should be finding at the end. I said, let's start there then. What even in many retreats you don't come even to this. On the first day, before your mind is defrosted enough, huh? You are thrown into your heart, and then we're going to see if you want to bring your mind in now. Thank you. These things, they are coming in proportion to the amount of attention you give them and the strength of your identity with the whole regime of thinking. The way in which you were thinking before and how you're functioning will set the marker of how the world will relate to you and how you relate with him. But if you begin to see with the fresh eyes of infinite awareness, you see what is different. But you have to take it. This is where it will be one. In a sense, actually, what you are seeing is you're looking into the infiniteness of yourself. But whereas both endings and beginnings will manifest in it, it may be for many of you just a beginning. Because somehow you still go back to the old reference of yourself. Yes, but I had this trouble and this has been happening, and you're clinging to the story, which is your poison, rather than to stand in your light, which is eternal. You did not have to develop your light. It has always been there, but it's hidden by the darkness of ignorance.
You know, one of the things that I struggle with that is that my life, I have an amazing life. It's wonderful. There's nothing wrong, you know. But it's these things that assault me, and I realize that to stay in the emptiness, the quiet.
We're going to see, actually, that the place that you speak from and who you're speaking as is not the correct position for you. You see? We're all speaking from that place, which is a mixture of being and personality. You're not speaking as yet as the self. You see? And because of that, of course you have this swinging. When you're in the state of beingness, you feel, and then somehow it will swing again to the person, and you'll be, oh my God.
Exactly.
When will it end? When will it end? Please. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. When you're back into the heart, what was I thinking? Oh, that's so wonderful.
Yeah. There are times it happens, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so easy. There's nothing there, and it's so beautiful. And then, you know, to swing back into this, it's like, it makes it worse. It makes it worse.
Well, it makes it unbearable to hold on to the sense of being a person and an ego. And that itself is your good fortune. Because when the ego identity becomes unbearable, something has to change. You're forced to, realization is forced upon you. To your joy, actually, in the end. Oh my God.
I had no intention of coming up here or anything, but it was like, I can't expose this. And it's like, if you don't expose it, what chance do you
It's good to expose. It's good to expose. It's good to get it out, because one of the tricks of this kind of mindset is it wants to keep things a secret, keep it private, you see. The more you expose, he doesn't like being exposed. You expose, he's going to try and punish you also for that. You made me look a fool up there. You wait. No lunch for you today. We take it all too seriously. You take the wrong thing too seriously, and the right thing too, trivially.
Thank you, Muji.
Thank you.
Can I come up and hug you?
Okay, come.
Thank you.
Okay, you come there. Where are you coming from? Which place?
Miami.
From Miami. You got all that sunshine on you. Okay. But I want you to stay inside the seeing. Why this started like this? That you begin to keep looking from the emptiness, look from the vastness. Don't keep looking from the story. We'll keep going back to the story. Yes, last week. Is it last week? It exists? It doesn't exist. Just looking from the vastness. You're here. Yeah? Why show me you yesterday when you're here now? You look from now. You look from your nowness. Your yesterdays and last months and stuff is all what you are holding, all junk in the box. Just look from your nowness. Okay. And it has to go out. It will be gone.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I just wanted to tell you this is my worst fear. I was last year there. You helped me to come up. Now I'm coming up here.
Yes.
To feel so exposed. I'm very shy. This is horrible. I have an issue that I need some help. I have an anger, a very dark anger, and it's now there. I feel it all my life since I'm a child. I remember it's like an anger I don't want to. I'm angry for being born already. I didn't want to be born. And after the anger, there's a lot of fear for living. And I need help there. And this anger comes, sometimes some people trigger it. And it's a very dark anger, and I don't want to let it out with them because I'm totally conscious that it doesn't have to be with them, but it has to go somewhere. So either it goes out or goes in towards myself. And I don't know what to do with it, or how to give it away.
Why do you say that you have you're angry because you did not want to be born? Who told you that? How did you come to that conclusion?
I'm against it. I'm against it. I don't want to be here.
Where do you want to be?
Nowhere.
But I just showed you how to be in the nowhere.
That's why I'm here. That's why I'm shaking for fear.
But again, I'm showing you again like this, that you asked for it, but can you receive what you've asked for?
Good question.
You asked for it, you ask, you know? Yes, I'm up for this. I'm up for the recognition of myself as I really am, you know? And it has been pointed, and in a short space of time you've come into that recognition. Is it of no value? In fact, it cannot even have a value. It's just priceless. Yeah? You say, I don't want to be here. Where you want to be? I want to be I want to be nowhere. I said, but I show you nowhere-ness. It's not that you cannot not want to exist. You can only not want to exist in the way that your mind is presenting existence and your life. You are existence itself. How can existence not want to exist? Unless you're living in the version of your mind, somehow something has created a very negative identity, and this identity is being suffered by the consciousness. That's a role that it's playing for some time. And now it's time to be free of this role. Is there anyone in here whose life is beautifully devastated by this exercise? It can only be an insistence inside, something your mind is saying, yeah, it doesn't really work, you know, I mean, it's still something. Maybe you already have the idea of what you think a conclusion should look like. And your mind saying, it's not quite that one. Or maybe you've had an experience in the past, and you lost it, it left you, and you want it back again. And so your mind is looking for comparisons. It says, yeah, that was nice, but it's not it. That's not what I'm looking for. I just like the way when I was going up into heaven like this. Whoa, now, can you give that experience again? Well, no. You don't need that. Something happened already. Your mind is latching onto an idea of what you think is realization and so on, and creating some fantasy about it. Why did it leave? Because it had done its work. It had triggered something, and perhaps what it gave has been misinterpreted even. You see. So even during the exercise, you're holding on to, I said, leave your mind outside, but you had very long arms, you're outside holding on. I'm doing the exercise with him. So this one and then this one. Holding on to your bag. You tied your bag with a rope and tied it around your waist. You came inside with this invisible rope. Yeah? It says, yeah, whatever he shows me, even God, I'm still not letting go of my problems. I mean, you know how long it took me to develop this complexness? Otherwise, how you can? I say sometimes, it's really amazing how, you see, the extent you will go to retain your identity is that identity. You only want to upgrade it. You don't want to be free. You want to be free only when he slaps you. You go, I want to be free. He kiss you, come back home, and everything. It is like that. So, how do you want your enlightenment to be served, madam? If you are going to hold on to the idea you have of how things should be, even your awakening, it has to be like this. It has to come in a Buddhist shape or a Christian shape. You are not here for freedom. You want a designer enlightenment. You're not here for this. I told you must leave everything out. Be willing to take this risk and to present yourself here. Just you, not you plus. And then I'll see if you can see what I see. But even now, you're presenting your loyalty to this state, which you say is causing me so much trouble. You see? Do you want to wait until all of life causes you trouble? And I've not asked you for anything. I'm not saying, you must give up this, you must give up, relationships, you must give up jobs, I'm not asking for anything. Just say simply, leave these things for a moment and look from the emptiness of being. What do you see? Did you feel anger in this moment? Did you see?
Pardon?
Yes, exactly.
What did you say?
Did you, in that moment of seeing, was anger there? Were you personally there even?
No.
No. My advice to you is every time something comes or you want to put mind or talk about it, start from looking from the place I've shown you. Because that's the place you're aiming for. You want to put it at the end of another 20 years, you can do it. It will still be like today. I asked you even 1 million years from now, will it change? You tell me no. But right now, I'm invested in the changeful. Let's talk about the changeful. Let's say, but by the time I finish, it's change again. Where are we not connecting today? Tell me, what is happening? You believe so much in your mind. You believe so much in your mind. Huh? It's now 11:12. 11:12 yesterday, what was your thought? What was your experience? Can you bring it back? Can you resample it today? It's gone, just like clouds floating by in the infinite sky. It's gone, and they will never come back. Just memory imitates a returning. It is gone. No cloud is going to come back. A cloud like it, but not it. Everything is passing like this. Why you should be loyal to that which is so momentary, and to that which is timeless, you miss. And I will not support your delusion. You see, to keep telling you, oh yes, never mind. No, it's enough. Enough for me too. Isn't it? Why to seeing what you are, why should I treat you less? You believe you have this problem and you believe it into existence. And now I must support it by taking it to be real. I've shown you what is real. Our troubles is not with the real. Our troubles is with the unreal. And our attachments to what is momentary and what is illusory. And perhaps all of this will be like this for a little while, because it's not the orthodox way of working with a retreat. We start little by little. You have time to talk about your problems and your aspirations and so on. But we slammed it from the beginning. I told you, hocus pocus, finish with that. Now let's see if you can keep talking about that in the light of what you have experienced. And what is it gone, that which is? Has it moved out? Is it displeased with you? No. Is it pleased with you? No. Who are you? Tell me the trouble. Yes, but have you heard what I speak? Have you listened? Have you heard what I'm speaking? Yes. Yeah. You must look from here. Don't think, oh yes, suddenly it becomes an abstraction. It was really nice about half an hour, 1 hour ago, but now I'm back to reality. Your mind is going to say, but now we are back into reality. Really? Or is it that you're back to dreaming? I don't want to present you with anything that is some sort of fairy tale idea of awakening. I think we're old enough, mature enough to really see and to honor your seeing, digest your seeing, swallow, digest, assimilate your seeing, be with it, and it will begin to yield a fruit that will keep getting sweeter and sweeter every day. Yes. But there must be inside. Sometimes maybe our identity as persons is too strong. Maybe you think it's too strong. Right now it's like, my person is so strong. Does anybody feel this? My person is really strong. My mind is, I can't even listen to you. Then you may begin to recognize, wait, I'm living with this thing for all my life. It doesn't want what is good for me. Whatever stage of awakening we are capable of attaining today, it is already here, in perfect place. Just you must reach out, you must say. If it is only to move a little more forward into a lighter shade of pale, a lighter shade of person, maybe this is good enough for today. A little bit today I feel so much better. Yes. I've moved from bronze to silver. It's good. But in the same gathering like this is revealed the Buddha. Where is this Buddha? Where is this Christ light? Where is this Shiva being or Krishna consciousness? Where is it? Is it not this? this labelless isness, which may appear to be nothing or something or everything, but is more than even that. And it will continue to reveal its mysteries in a heart that is worthy to receive it. I'm not here to impart momentary experiences, but to point you to that which is timeless and limitless within you. But whether it is the capacity to grasp it right now is evident or prevailing, this way I'm here to see. I'm just here to see. Perhaps the mind in some way is going to be strong to say, no, deal with me. Or presenting innumerable shapes and forms and memories to distract your attention and to keep you out of this place. But something brought you here today. A higher power brought you here today because it wants to speak inside your heart. Thank you. Let's just, before I go to another question, let's go to the place without question. Let's again just, I don't know, do we have to go there, by the way? So what do we need to do? Because if we have to go, we need some vehicle. We need, what is the quickest vehicle? Rocket? Huh? So what is the vehicle? How much distance is it from you? Hello? Yeah, how much distance? Micromillimeter? Pretty good. Is it intimate? Intimate means 2 at least. Is it hiding itself? No. Okay. Does it have to come closer to you? No. Is there something that you want that it cannot give? Is there a wanting you? Is there a desiring you there? No. Do you have a problem here? Where is your mind? In the light of this moment, where is your mind? Where is your person? Where is your personal life? Is it? Can it create any distortions here? And is it that you shouldn't care about life? Is there any demands like this put on you? No. My advice, be with this. Don't talk about it. I don't know how you can actually. Don't talk about it. Just let your full being marinate in itself. Which is this. How? By thinking? No. Don't go off with your mind. Simply stay and notice, look, feel. Are you collecting information? Hello? No. Can anyone give you anything greater than this? Speak up. No. Not what? Not yet. Can you receive this? Then what is to be done? Again? Yes. Well, as I've said before, you have to recognize, acknowledge, respect, love it, be it. Or miss it. It has been missing from the conscious self, so to speak, for countless time. Maybe we've been brought back to the earth again and again to recognize it. Because everything else we have gone for has not satisfied your heart. Maybe the mind tells you, no, there's much more experiencing to do. There's much more experience to do. I don't want to shorten the duration of what is to come. I'm owed much more experiencing. And some beings feel, I've had enough of experiencing. It kind of all goes the same place anyhow. Huh? I'm ready to be as I am. Not as I want to be again, more wannabes. Easy. So it's just this. And yet, it's just this, and yet. This. Now, maybe also it might say, but I mean, if this just is what is there, nothing to do. I don't want to be in a world nothing to do. Well, you imagine you are the doer. The activities of this universe is moving in every living form. Is moving. And what may be for you, the consciousness never wastes its expression. Only the interpreting mind creates delusions around it. Because there's a saying, it's not good to bite, but it's good to be bitten. Life sometimes will give you things you feel, I don't want this, I don't want, I deserve better. But it's what you need for a while in our dynamic play. If you have the right mindset, you will turn mud into gold. You are discovering that which is stable, infinite, unborn, imperishable. But I'm not here to convince you if it's not already in your heart. Now your mind will be exposed. The more you stay grounded in your seeing, he will not be able to hide. It's the same guy all over the world. He plays inside to distract you from what you are. Why? Because when you know and are what you are the most powerful. You cannot be deceived by this serpent's voice. Are you waking up to this? Okay. You come, tell me what you want to say. Thank you.
Namaste, Moji.
Namaste.
The more I'm in this place of presence, the more time I spend, and I look out at my life, and it's never had more wonderful things happening.
It's
like
never had
never had more wonderful things happening. It's like the more I do nothing, the more my projects, my world, my family manifest. All the stuff that I would have been in my old life working at as projects. It's like the synchronicity. My African project, people offer me money. It's like I've had balls being thrown at me. I don't do anything, but it's like the balls are being thrown at me and I catch them and they're all good, The more I do nothing, it's like a paradox. The less I do, it's like the less I get, the more I get my identity and ego and mind out of the way, the more my life just, it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming. I'm so grateful. So grateful. And what's the practical side of it for me? It's like I cannot not go there into presence. Because at the moment, it's like everywhere there are these flowers growing in my life. And I feel I'm not doing it. It's like there's a force working for me when I just push myself out of the way like you bring us to, that presence. And I'm in awe. I'm in awe. Yeah, I just wanted to share that.
Yes, and this sense of doing nothing is the same as simply being and not forcing life, not choosing, okay, not try to manipulate or maneuver too much, but just be the being your being. And you become more, it seems more passive, but actually you see that it is the life force and the consciousness that is carrying this life, that is taking care of life. You see, it's a great discovery. But if it is not heard in the right way, it sounds like laziness. I tell you, oh, you're just being lazy. You should get up and pull up your socks and all this type of stuff. He talks like that. But when you are mature enough to see and sensitive enough to be in that state of patience beautifully, you become able to see and to cooperate with flow, one with existence even. And the sense of even moving into presence, it becomes not something different from you. Yourself, you are presence itself. Presence and yourself is synonymous, same thing it means. You see, you are life itself. You're not trying to maneuver life. You are life itself. You see, you don't even have to be told. It comes. It just comes. You're so integrated. It's so integral. It is one movement it becomes. But you have to be ready to hear it and to see it. And this environment of satsang is the perfect, fertile environment in which somehow that seeing will emerge from this. And even as we are sitting here, you don't have to be scratching your head so much, but somehow being more sensitive and feeling that you are in the perfect place within your own self.
Can I give you a hug of gratitude?
Come. Oh, good. Thank you. Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, Muji. I also want to start with the end.
Yes.
And I want to express my deep gratitude.
Thank you.
Already.
You're very good.
I'm with you since 10 years, since you all started at Tiruvannamalai.
Yes.
And I watched many sessions in the internet, and I'm here the second time. And since I'm here now, you see, I'm not crying, but tears are coming all the time, you see.
Yes.
Tears all the time, you know. And I feel this love, you know. I feel this love in every gesture of the staff, you see, when they serve us, when they stand there. When I can see only love, you see, and even when I see the plants, I can imagine somebody putting them there, you see, I can feel it. And also so many little mujis around me, you see, this is just wonderful. To be with you and with 800 little mujis, it's fantastic. It's like a big family from all over the world, you see, so I'm so happy.
Yes.
And I think I don't have any problems anymore, but I just wanted to express that you do not think that we don't understand you, because there's so many questions coming now, you know, and you pushed us again into that, you know,
Yes.
and you do it with me every time, and I'm speechless, you know, and wow, and I'm in bliss, and you must not think that we don't understand. We understand everything, what you say. Really, isn't it? That's just what I wanted to say. And then, now I want to speak a little bit of memory, not much, but of Tiruvannamalai, you know, because I spent there every winter.
Yeah.
And we all think of you, you see, and we speak of you, because Muji came to Tiruvannamalai since 4 years now, or is it, right?
Well, since I haven't been there for about 4 years or
Right,
something.
4 years. And we speak of you every time, you see, in winter. And many people, remember you. And I'm sure, you see, if they would know that I'm here, they would greet you. So I do that, you see. Although they don't know that I'm doing it, but I'm sure it's in their heart and their minds. Because
thank you.
we love you so much in Tiruvannamalai. We love you so much.
Thank you so much.
And I have a little gift for you. Yeah.
Okay.
Can I give it to you?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I start again to cry, but it's tears of happiness.
And I'm totally comfortable with that. That's right.
Look, this is...
From
Arunachala. From Arunachala.
Yeah.
I just had it in my bag, and I think it's good for you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so
very
much.
nice.
Thank you for everything.
Oh, thank you.
Such a blessing.
Thank you, man.
I'm so grateful
Thank you.
you exist.
Thank you. Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you, my love. Thank you. Very good. I'm going to try and do this from early because I always lag behind a little bit. What is this one? The people writing from... Dearest Muji, please do not read my name. My life situation appears to be hopeless. Suicide? So that's with a question mark. Or an opportunity to surrender and be the emptiness only, refusing all thoughts, all feelings, for as long as life supports me in being this. Okay, so my life situation appears to be hopeless. Then next sentence only says suicide. Then or an opportunity to surrender and be the emptiness only. You see? You're refusing all thoughts, meaning not being engaged, but not every thought, because some thoughts, practical thoughts, they don't really leave any deep impression in the consciousness. And so there's no trouble in practical things. But thoughts to do with who you are and all of these kind of things, then better you don't engage with them even. So or an opportunity to surrender and be the emptiness only, refusing all thoughts, all feelings. No, feelings can come. We don't have to set up to, no, I won't have feelings. This is not healthy. Let them come, but don't identify with them so easily. Simply just observe, let them play, experience their energy, but don't combine yourself with anything at all. That is to be empty. It's enough like that. And you say, am I to do this, refusing all thoughts, all feelings, for as long as life supports me in being this? I feel that you will receive support whenever you seek to be free from the psychological grip of the ego mind. But sometimes we added in there some things which are not necessary. You don't have to fight with yourself so much. Thoughts come. Actually, the thoughts in themselves, they have no power. In fact, it is you who give them power. They don't have power. Suppose a thought had its own power, then it would mean the same thing for everybody. You see, if something had its own power, it doesn't depend upon you or your interpreter, it just had that power, then everybody would suffer exactly the same way from that thought. But you see, in one, somebody look at it and they laugh. That's ridiculous. Another one is crying, oh my God, no. Another one is hiding under the bed from this thought. Another one is... so it has no inherent meaning. It is you who give the meaning to it. And the intensity, the value to it, we are giving it. If we know this, then you see, you would not have any real trouble. So again, from the start, my life situation appears to be hopeless, suicide. It appears to be, it comes and goes. You cannot be like this all your life. At the moment it's feeling like that, to do with the way in which you are interpreting and how you are identifying, because anyone who identifies merely as a person, at some point you're going to come into some conflict, some kind of crisis. And you need to have the crisis in order to be pushed to go beyond crisis point. You see, so that. But again, I would put, if I can bring you to that recognition that is still alive. Yes? Still alive. Can it be dead? Thank you. Another one here. Namaste, beloved Master Muji. I have attended the Zmar retreat online, only 20 minutes from Zmar. I drive past it every day of the retreat, so I will be part of the Buddha field in this way. I bless with the grace of the whole existence you, Muji, the retreat, and all the people organizing and attending it, including myself and the whole Shiva. My burning question. I love the feeling of being empty, the joy of discovering, and also the whole play of the mind. But how to ultimately stay in the grace and truly, really, completely, finally let myself dissolve into the nothingness? Well, as long as you say, I also enjoy the whole play of the mind, it will keep on fascinating you and you'll keep on postponing the real absorption into the heart. Even though you may feel right now, yes, I'd love to do this, when it comes to it, you cannot enter through two doors simultaneously. So you're going to go to the place that has the most fun for your mind, you see. You put my attitude in every moment towards your pointing, and my confirmation of it, which I do all the time, is that this is it. Now is the time, not later, now. I am ready for a full realization right here, right now. Please help. This is a different tone from before. I like my mind. This looks like, and also in big print, you see. You can see. You have to have good eyes. Here, you see that this now. Those stronger typed words, is about this. Now I'm ready for the full realization right here, right now. Please help. Exclamation, 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 exclamation. And even though contradictory it may seem, at the same time, deep down I feel I'm in peace and have no hurry or expectations. It's like the man who prayed, "Oh Lord, please come and save my life." You see, please come and save me with life. But don't come too quickly. This is the person who is enjoying the senses and the senses. But something inside, maybe some guilt, doing something not so right. So he says, "Please, Lord, come and save me, but don't come too quickly. Let me have more fun." And then, you see, up here, full big bold letters, you see. I'm ready for full realization right here, right now. Please help. Next paragraph. And even though contradictory it may seem, at the same time, deep down, I feel I'm in peace and have no hurry or expectations. I am totally enjoying the ride and all of its spices, whatever the outcome. I have already gained more than I could ever have dreamed of. So where is I want the full realization? Right here, right now. See? Thank you from the bottom of my heart and being, Juha from Finland. Huh? Huh? No, this is a different one. The nameless one is over here. Is this one. Okay? This one. Somebody's going to be looking on the camera later on. Thank you from the bottom of my heart and being Juha, Juha, from Finland. I'm totally enjoying the ride and all the spices, whatever the outcome. And so I have already gained more than I could ever dreamed of. So the letter has answered itself, no? Everything there. Let me see one more. This last one. This one. Oh, this is too big. Okay, I just try and start, and I see if I can finish. Om Shri Muji Sadguru Parabrahman. A dream must come to an end. The I has been utterly crushed by existence and has come to the humbling and unwavering conviction that it alone is responsible for all the suffering it has ever experienced. There can be no more. All wish but one have been washed away. Where there used to be a raging fire of desires, only a tiny flickering flame remains, waiting to be extinguished. There are a few questions that, while unanswered, still perpetuate false identification. Dispel these clouds of illusion with the burning light of truth, and Maya will lose its power to bind the consciousness. Shatter these doubts and set the self free from this form. And then I have 4 dots. I don't know what they mean. 1, if the I is already the Absolute experiencing itself, and the Absolute lets everything flow without any resistance according to some cosmic plan, where does that put free will for the individual? Without free will, neither resistance nor surrender can be chosen, which in itself forces the individual to surrender to the inevitability of absolute and total impotence. Is this what the I has unconsciously been trying to deny all the time? Is this one here? This person is here? It's you? Ah, okay. You still interested in this question? It's a big one. If the I is already the Absolute experiencing itself, and the Absolute lets everything flow without any resistance according to some cosmic plan, well, if the Absolute lets everything flow without any resistance, it would be without any resistance within itself. No? There's nothing else outside of itself. Where does that put free will for the individual? Well, where's the individual then? Because absolute means totality, no? Absolute means nothing more than absolute. There's a totality. It's not speaking about the relative. If you speak now from a relative perspective, then we are dropping down into more a world of conceptual diversity. But from the absolute standpoint, these things are not really, it's not, oh my gosh, how can we go on this one now? Because, you see, sometimes I'm really happy to talk about this thing. In fact, it is what's happening here. You're brought to the absolute place. What's there to talk about in the absolute? You see? And yet at the same time, we see the demonstration of the relative, of being saying, yes, but in my case this happens, and so on, so on, so. And I say, yeah, but come back to the absolute. Okay, now talk about the problem from the absolute. So we have a very practical response to this question, in fact, that from the total standpoint, it's not there. But yet the Absolute permits somehow this diverse play of the universality and the diverse range of expressions from a multitude of different beings, different shape, different sizes, different species, working from different elements. Some are living in water, some live in the air, some live on the land. All these things. It has caused this play to happen. Okay? Do we have any conflict in understanding from the absolute total perspective, which is good? We have seen from this place, from the total absoluteness within yourself, and yet at the same time, you have not lost the capacity to perceive on the relative. This is demonstrated, no? So there comes a sort of a relative standpoint where consciousness manifests itself as all of these concepts, and not just sort of abstract concepts, but tangible, concrete concepts, and all of this playing within the diverse expressions of life, biological and spiritual life, and everything is there. So it depends where you want to go. If you look from the place of the relative, then suddenly everything becomes a relative. And then when we speak about absolute, he looks at absolute, oh, the absolute, okay, we have to go back over there, but absolute has not moved. So where does that put free will of the individual? Within the dream of relativity. I call it the dreaming. All our things, what we mean by dream, I don't mean that we're flying and all this type of stuff. And I don't mean dream in this way. I mean dream in that what we believe to be true is only momentary. And then somehow the mind and the psyche takes some kind of psychic imagery of it and folds it up into what we call memory and gives it a sense of endurance or perpetuality or something. But it's only momentary. And what you think someone may feel is not what they feel at all. And sometimes what you say about yourself is absolutely not true. Then how are we to form some database as some accurate, portrayal of the world of phenomenality? It's impossible. Where's the free will? There is no real free will. There's apparent will. You don't have free will. You have the freedom to dream, but you don't have the power to make your dream come true in the way that you project. We have the sense, because if consciousness creates the sense of individuality, it must give to that sense of individuality a sense of free will, or to enjoy its expression. But if it gave it total autonomy, can that autonomy be outside the autonomy of the totality? Do you follow or not? If it give it free will, then it means that you can do something to surprise God. So, oh my God, look what he's doing. I never imagined you could do such a thing. No. Your free will cannot surprise. It's like the characters in a book coming together to protest against the author. But let's meet in secret, guys. Everything is the work of the author. Okay, so without free will, neither resistance nor surrender can be chosen, which in itself forces the individual to surrender to the inevitability of absolute and total impotence. Yes, sometimes the free will is only there, sometimes, as it evolves more, it comes to see that it's only apparent, it's not really free will. But by the time it recognizes there's no free will, it will not be frustrated by that. It must come into a certain maturity, because a wise being doesn't need free will. He's already one with the law of the cosmos. Is not everything he does. They ask one saint, what do you want? He says, whatever God gives. Why should one something separate? My life is already so beautiful as it is. Why should one something different? Let the ones who have the desire that comes with personal identification, let them enjoy that delusion for a while. But why do I need it? Because everything Even what is apparently bad, apparently good, is enjoyed by me. Why? I have no appointments, so I have no disappointments. I have not said how things should be, how they should be. So if they go this way, how I can be disappointed? I didn't appoint them to be like this. It's really beautiful, actually. Okay, so without free will, neither resistance nor surrender can be chosen. Are they chosen, you see? Which in itself forces the individual to surrender to the inevitability of absolute and total impotence, as far as the individual is concerned. He loses his egoic, he experiences egoic impotence, but finds the total potency of the absolute. You cannot have both. He must first experience his own, the falsehood of personal autonomy, that is only operative for a while as a growth hormone. And when he's enough grown, he can drop that. You realize, I don't really need this anymore. You see? Is there a perception, first one up again, yeah. Is this what the I has unconsciously been trying to deny all the time? Which I? Is this what the I has unconsciously been trying to deny all the time? When the I becomes the I of the person, then yes, it is a state of denial constantly, and resistance and arrogance also. You see, it is the conditioned consciousness that is rescued by the unconditioned consciousness. The conditioned consciousness is rescued by the pure consciousness in the play of life. It is from this unconditioned state, the pure consciousness, that then saves the conditioned consciousness, which has become adopted the sense of personhood as its position, you see, and comes into every kind of trouble.
So where's the beingness and the author meet?
Where's the beingness and the
author meet?
Where does the beingness and the author? So you're not talking now about the beings inside, you're not talking about the beings as the characters inside the book?
No, I'm talking about the end, the place you took us to, the beingness.
Okay, I want you to speak on the microphone so they can hear you, you see? Otherwise, I might be found guilty of interpreting. Come here, yes. Hi, nice to see you. I'll have please come.
All of a sudden I woke up. This is interesting to me.
Okay.
And this is where I loop.
This is where you...
Where I loop.
Loop, okay. So
the author.
Okay.
The originator.
Yes.
And the beingness, the absolute. Where we were when you took us to this exercise.
Yes.
Of just being.
Yes.
And you're just here. And I feel it. It's a place that is no place.
Yes.
And it's good. I feel very good there, and I don't even want to speak.
Yes.
But then there's this question of how to manifest, and then the not speaking, and the originator. What is holding this beingness? It's alive.
Yes. It is, in fact, issues out in its expression through the consciousness and the life force. The breath, which is the animating power of the universe, which is in every form, that gives it life to move. And the consciousness, which appears inside the body, the form, as the intelligent principle, but not in its total intelligence, in its individualized intelligence, there for a while, to function in each form, to draw upon its experience from its environment and from the illusory identity of being a person, because that is still consciousness, but it is consciousness, what I would say, that has been personalized, has been conditioned into limitation.
I understand that.
Okay, so that consciousness is where all our questions are coming from. How do I do this, but what happens when I go back, and so on. Okay, but that consciousness somehow was invited to, through the exercise, to come back to its root. Yeah? Now it experiences somehow the root, but it didn't die in the root. Its power is completely rendered impotent in the root for a moment, you see? Okay? But it's not exterminated.
It's always been there and it never goes away.
What? The root?
Yes.
The root is always here. The root is here. But when I say that this is a beginning and not just an end, because sometimes we think, but this is the end. But that's only a thought about it being the end. Now you've been given a tremendous power and boost to be able to actually, because the reflex to go back into life and the diversity of expressions and thought and feeling and the sense of growing and expanding and so on, that is also the expression of what I call the dynamic consciousness. This dynamic consciousness is arising. It emanates from this source that we are here. No?
The one we experienced at the beginning that you were
yes,
talking, that's always here.
And now it's in its creative process also, as experience and life and diversity and all of the emotions it's experiencing. But all of this is a kind of dream because it is experiencing otherness. But it is only one. It is experiencing all this diversity because it wants to taste experiencing. And in order to experience, you need duality, you need otherness, you need a multitude of different forms to interact and to have all this matrix of experience. You see? But not to keep experience, but to use experience to navigate your way back home. All your experience is only the information of your internal GPS to come home to the source.
Just because I have experiences doesn't mean I exist. I exist anyway.
Yes, but you must become aware. If I give an example, I was born in a place, I gave this example before, I was born in a place in Jamaica called Port Antonio. And we were, as children, we were always playing around. I never traveled anywhere from my town for many, many years. I only grew up in my town, went to school, church, everything in my town. And then one time we met one group of people, they were tourists. We were children playing around the back streets. And somebody came and they said, "You guys live in paradise. You live in paradise." So thank you. We don't know what it means actually, because I only heard paradise from the Bible, but I knew that they meant something nice. So I said, thank you, but we are playing around. So many years went away. And then I traveled, I went to Europe, I lived in England and so on, and after maybe 5 or 6 years, I went back to Jamaica for the first time. And I was just coming into my town. They turned a corner and the whole harbor opens up. And I felt, this is paradise. You see? Now, how I can say this, because I had the experience of other than my town. I had the experience of living in some place, some parts of it not so ugly, and I can see where that concept was expressed from, that you live in paradise. But we, being there, we don't know. We are the paradise. We don't know the paradise. But in that moment, with going away and coming back, something could appreciate because of knowing the other. Then say, this is paradise. So we don't know until we know the opposite thing.
Understood.
So yes. This is the longing for experience produced this. But with experience comes desire and identity and change. Because we, the experiencer, in our costume as a person, in the self-portrait as a person, has in some way sacrificed our original knowledge, it seems. And so we are learning in the world, moving in the world on the basis that we are people and this is us and we live until we die and then that's it, finished. But a deeper truth is left unrecognized.
So when it is said, know yourself,
Yeah.
that's really not true because it doesn't need to know itself. It already is.
Well, it does.
I'm
it
not
does.
diminishing the duality and the need for
no,
experience.
not necessarily in this way. The word knowing does not mean information, in my understanding, you see. Knowing and being are one. It's not knowing where you think you know something, you have it in your head, and you think, oh, you know it. Many people regard that as knowledge, but it is knowledge that will not stand with you in the midst of a crisis. It will collapse. You won't have any use of this knowledge. Only the knowledge that is integrated in the heart, that knowledge will stay with you because it is one with you. So this knowledge, self-knowledge, doesn't mean self-information. It means somehow that when I ask you today, you were speaking from a place of knowledge. But it was knowledge of something has no information. Isn't it? You see, it's not like, oh, yeah, it's green and it's kind of purple over this side and there's nothing to describe. Yet you are so clear in your knowing. And for the first time, recognizing there's something that is always timelessly been there, more timeless than your body has been here. You recognize something to say that, yes, where would you have the credibility to answer a question about what must have been here 1 million years ago? Where would you have this credibility? Huh? Where would you have the authority to say, yes, it shall be here thereafter? Where would you have it unless it came not from the attic. It came from someplace much deeper in you where you can say, yes. And I didn't hear anyone say, well, I think, I imagine. It was coming with a force and a power. And yet you are not seeing things with your biological eyes. With what are you seeing them? It's a very powerful demonstration that happened. But I don't know if you will appreciate, you will grow in your appreciation. It is sometimes something is shown to you and take you a long time to appreciate what you're seeing.
I would love to stabilize there, truly.
Yeah.
It's because the questions can loop and it's an unknown principle for me, the originator. If I can just marinate like you say.
Actually, even before originating, because actually we can begin to look, and this is not some scientific research or nothing, because even though we speak of absoluteness, and unchangingness, yet there are subtleties of its manifestations beyond the realm of what you consider you know already. We are only not even under the toenails of God yet. It is simply our openness and your humility removes the offensive objects to awaken more deeply. In one way, you will keep on maturing and maturing into subtler and subtler levels of consciousness against a background of unchanging awareness. It is not something we can just figure out. Even if you may gain some momentary, ephemeral joy from understanding it at a conceptual or intellectual level, but is when you go into it, as I'm imploring you to do, to say, be with this, step inside this circle of seeing. How you do, just with your heart, just like you did before. What did you do? What did you do to come to this seeing? You didn't do anything at all. You just avoided getting into some usual distracting tendencies, and you came into the clarity of seeing and being. And it's not a sterile, stagnant place. It's pregnant with life. It gave life. But the expressions of life, the diversity and the play, and not just of moving objects, but of the interpretation we give to them, the flavoring we put on top of it, our own particular likes and dislikes, and contributing to the way in which something is tasted, added to that innumerable streams which are untraceable, that affect the way in which we experience something. Who could write that account? The waters are changing every second, they're changing. You know why you can endure this? Because you are actually the unchanging. But you are also the changing. The changing is when you play as time. The unchanging is when you're timeless. Don't hold on to any knowledge. Don't hold on to any knowledge. Don't venerate any knowledge. Just use it. Just use it. Be in the place that it's pointing to. Don't try and freeze it into something that you can keep. Nothing you can keep. Everything that comes from time, time says, they belong to me. I'll eat them. And nothing can eat up time except that pure awareness itself, to whom time is nothing.
Understood.
You see, I have some other points on here. I don't know if we... It says, satsang, please finish by 12 p.m. It says here, 12:16. If you want me to comment more about these points, there's 3 other points. I can leave it for another moment and we can come back to that if the wish is for this. But for now, we will bring this morning's satsang to a close. And I would just like to thank you and encourage you for just being present with this, because let me speak on your behalf. This is the greatest thing that you have seen. And will have, if somehow the capacity is present, not the potential is ours, if the capacity is present, to remain in this bloodstream of consciousness, then the days of delusions are burning up like a meteorite falling towards the earth that never reaches. That's what I say. I'll speak on your behalf about the magnitude and the significance of this seeing if you honor it, but only if it is honored. And whether you honor it or not is not up to me. I don't even know if it's up to you. It's not up to you personally. It's up to you as consciousness. If I say it's up to you as consciousness, it will have more power. But personally, if you stay in the person is too much of shifting ground, shifting sands. The person is not stable. You see. So this is where the bread goes into the oven, and we will see how it comes out. I'm so happy each time to share and to feel that, and to know that this seeing, as really is coming home to itself. It's reached something. But thereafter, how it manifests in the life should be very powerful. It should continue to somehow, when I say let life take care of life, because as individuals, as persons, we have interfered with a process which cannot be outside of the great process any more than disharmony is also inside total harmony. So nothing you can do to surprise it. It's the game. It's like that. But in as much as in your heart you feel the fire and the power and the love that is revealing itself inside you, and if grace causes you to choose this and to marinate your attention in this, then I feel that this is in my view, this is the highest achievement in the human kingdom. If the evolution of human beings is measured in terms of joy and peace and love and openness and compassion and the equality of being and the joy of existence, if that is our measure and not merely material things, then I would put it as the highest attainment in the human kingdom. That human beings can be happy. Because this is the planet for transcending. If you can wake up here, then you're awake everywhere. Because so strong are the pull of the senses to stay identified with the form of the body to which the senses are attached. You see, if you can overcome here, thank you. Can we have a bit of music? I would like to have a bit of music and this. Come here.
I appreciate it so much.
Thank
you so much. Be well always.
Thank you.
Peace.
me. Lord, I know. And now I pray you will replace me. Lord, you save me. Lord, I know. Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om. Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om. Hari Om. Papaji, you say keep quiet. There's no use fighting. You disappear. And Ramana, you give your guidance through your silence. You are here. Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om. Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om. Hari Om. Hari Om. Hari Om. Hari Om. Mujiji, you have erased me. Lord, you save me. Lord, I know. Now I pray you will replace me. Lord, you save me. Lord, I know. Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om. Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om. Hari Om. Hari Om.
Now, as we leave today, and as you move around today, try and stay with this, be one with this, and sit with it. Bring your attention to get familiar with just to be here. The mind wants to work at things to figure out the next step, but you don't need that. You only need that if you feel separate from life. Then you may start to look for techniques and strategies, but you are life, unfolding. And at the same time, the capacity to observe this play of life unfolding in the presence of the unmoving seer. Don't miss this. It's long enough missing it. Now be fully conscious, you see, until the sense of separateness is dissolved by itself. And it will do. This is not something that you are going to do. It happens. You see? Grace brought you to this place again. To live in your original face. The face which is beyond time and form. Don't give it to the mind. The mind will start to paint pictures and techniques you don't need. Just quietly slip into your emptiness. And you will see everything will be done. All that needs to be done will get done. When the true nature of the mind is functioning without the tyranny of egoic fears and phobias, then all things will be seen to work and unfold in their true nature. Put it to the test. And then I look forward to seeing you again later on today. So, full love, full joy, and peace. See, radiant, look. we have to have a wonderful. Crystal clear. Crystal clear.
Thank you, my Lord. Thank you, my Lord. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, my Lord. Thank you, my Lord. Thank you. Thank you, my Lord.